Hi, I'm Alex,
Hi, I'm Tabitha.
and we are going to present to you our final project for Team SCCB. This is our version of Wheel of Jeopardy. So let's go ahead and open up our version of Wheel of Jeopardy. You can see it's just an executable file. Windows doesn't like unregistered executables, but I trust this one. We made it. So the home screen has a couple simple features. We can start a new game, but before we do that, we're going to want to create some questions so that we have some material for the game to run on. So for that, we've created what we call a QSet editor. Within the QSet editor, I have a few options. I can create a brand new set of questions and categories. It can take a while to make all those categories and questions, so you might want to save a half-complete set and come back and edit it, or maybe you realize you made questions too difficult. You want to come back and edit, do that as well. We have a really nice feature so you can validate the question sets as you make them. So there are rules we've established for how a question set needs to look. It has a certain amount of categories, a certain amount of questions per category. It needs to have questions in each category that are labeled as different difficulties. This way, if you create a question set and you try and open it in the game later, you don't have the game crashing as a result of improperly designed question sets. Let's go ahead and create a new set. So I'm brought to this screen with an empty selection of categories. Before I can create questions, I need to create a category in which a question will go. Let's go to Add Category, and let's talk about American cities. So we now have this category, American cities. If I want to populate that with questions, I double-click on it. So now it's a similar empty box, but I can add questions. I click Add Question, nice little dialog box. Let's ask, in 1776, the Constitutional Congress was held here. And the answer is going to be my home city of Philadelphia. We don't need to put in the classical Jeopardy, what is Philadelphia? We build that into the game later on, and you'll see that. I mentioned earlier there's a difficulty level. There's 5 questions per set. You have to have one of each difficulty level. This one's pretty easy, I hope. So we're going to make that a level 1. Additionally, we build the ability to do different types of questions. So instead of a text-based question like we have here, we can do audio or picture or video. But we're going to stay with text for this demo because it's the most simple to demonstrate. So I hit OK. So I can now add a second question. So let's call it the Windy City. And the answer is, of course, Chicago. So I'm going to here intentionally introduce an error. Instead of selecting level 2, 3, 4, or 5, which are still available options, I'm going to select level 1 again. I mentioned before, you have to have for each category 1 question of each difficulty type. So this wouldn't work later in the game. If we go back and we run our validate existing, you can see we get this nice invalid Q set, a question set of which is made up of questions within a given category must have at least min categories. It must have 1 of each category, which we currently do not have. Well, I could go back and I could, as a result, go back to the editor, edit this question, go to the Windy City, make this a level 2. It would then prompt us if we went back into the error check to then make a 3, 4, and 5, but I'll save you the time of going through all that. So if we just go back and reopen the QSet editor, I'm going to open up existing set we've made. You see this one has a bunch of categories. Within each one, there'll be 1 level for each type of question. And we can bring this over to our game relatively easier. So QSet, real straightforward, allows you to create questions, assign difficulty levels. You have functionality for things like video and audio questions. Really, it's a nice, easy way to make this game, I think, more interesting for the players.